Hey, we're live.
Jeremy,
Happy
these
Reinforcement
customers are
Day.
bothering the heck out of me with all their emails, dude. Oh, wait, we're live. It was a great day today.
Thank you, everyone. Happy
Happy
Reinforcements Day.
Reinforcements Day. Wish I had some confetti. Hey, ladies.
So we are 3 hours and 16 minutes into the sale, and nothing has
Blockbuster.
yet sold out.
So close, though. So
We're
close.
getting there. We're getting there. But all the people that were worried that this was going to be an in-stock sale, like sellout, hopefully this has dispelled that worry for them.
For all the haters out there and all the complainers, we ordered enough this time. Yay! And it was more than one figure, so that helps.
He says my wallet needs reinforcing.
Yeah. Yes, because the barriers of your wallet were broken down and the money flowed freely. You shall soon have support, but it will be too late because the money is already gone.
So Kat is saying, got my order in. So happy to have a Sir Gerard. Oh, look, everybody. This was the surprise. Little mini me.
Surprise. I got my Sir Gerard. He's on the other side of the screen. I bet everyone can tell, but I love being able to work with Jeremy. We always have such a good time, and we get a lot done behind the scenes and a lot of chitty chat and planning and developing. And the horsemen, where would they be without us?
We've been on the phone with each other almost straight since like 10:40 or something.
Took a lunch break. Yeah, about 10:40. Yeah. We want to. So, and the reason why is because we got to make sure everything runs properly, which there was a little snag with the stands. We did get some people telling us you get all the way to the cart and it was saying sold out. Don't know why, because it was all fine. So I had to do a quick duplicate of the item, delete the other one, put the new one, and it was good to go. So sorry about that.
That's why we monitor this so we can respond very quickly.
Yes. It was a weird glitch. But yeah, man.
We haven't figured out why, but fixed it.
Yeah.
Fabian's Finest Freak saying, what a day.
I like to say when I'm talking to him, every time I saw Fabian's Finest Freaks, I told him every time I look at it, I keep thinking it's Fabian's Finest Steaks, and it just it's stuck in my head since day one. So I keep thinking he owns a restaurant.
He does really cool, creepy art that's like
weird
dolls and pumpkins and stuff.
He does, but he still needs to. He should for that plug alone. He should send me some Omaha steaks. Then it'll be Fabian's Finest Steaks for real. Yeah, man. I mean, it's fun. We're watching the globe and we're seeing all these sales coming in from everywhere. I mean, the whole U.S. was lit up. A ton of people in Mexico. We had some people in Alaska, Hawaii, and then outside of North America, there was a bunch in South America, Argentina, Brazil, Ecuador. Then across the way, South Africa. That was cool. A bunch in Europe. What else? We saw a ton in Asia. People, I mean, at 10 o'clock, what time did it start? 11 o'clock, right? At 11 o'clock in the morning here, it's midnight in China. And then depending on an hour, plus or minus, depending on where you go. Dude, people in like Hong Kong, Taiwan, a bunch of people in Korea. I'm sure I probably know who some of those people were just from interactions. And Japan as well. I'm sure Masaki Ide was probably buying some. Hi, Masaki. Konnichiwa. Konbanwa. And who else? Manabu Toki was probably buying some. Arigatou gozaimashita. And we had Philippines. We had Indonesia, Australia. Oh, my God. It's crazy. I love watching it. We're worldwide.
Yeah. So it's cool. We do that. We get to see all of that come in. I mean, Legions is absolutely a worldwide brand at this point.
Yep. Can you believe it? It's so crazy. Just think about like 5 years ago. I mean, the expansion of the line has been beautiful, and we love all of you guys and girls, because everybody, even the kids, there's kids that collect them.
There are.
Those are very smart kids.
I remember the past year at ToyCon, not the one in November, but actually the one in May, seeing father and daughter come up, and he actually got a handful of figures, and she got a Balius. And to see her walking away, and Chris, she was like hugging the box, so incredibly excited, and it was like, that is what this is all about. That type of enjoyment.
Don't forget, my 2 daughters are 6 and 9, and they play with the toys too, especially the horses. They love them. They're lucky. They get early samples. They even play with the test shots. Oh man, but yeah, it's been great, man. It's been, yeah, like I said, 3 hours. I mean, there's still people buying right now, and it's awesome. Can't wait for you guys to get them in hand. Again, should be a couple over the course of a couple weeks, so be patient. Also, I'm going through all these emails for all you guys that are asking for order changes and stuff, and combining orders, and I gotta say, no, read the description. We do not combine. Stop asking. I'll put you to the back of the line.
Just going through all the comments, just lots of people very excited.
Mm-hmm. Where do you think? What was that? Quick questions. Oh, somebody sent me a message. I don't know. I'll check it later. I'm live. What do you think blew up the most, Instagram or Facebook?
I mean, I was following the Cabal, so I was seeing a lot of people just super, super excited in there. It's always cool. Everyone tends to, as soon as their order's done, they screen cap their order summary page. And
oh yeah,
I mean, on a personal level, to see people posting that it was smooth and it was, very, very quick and easy for them to get in, get what they wanted, and get out. That's that's obviously always fulfilling to see, because we're both collectors. We both do this, right? We both get on websites and order stuff on special drops and everything. So knowing that we've made it easy for people is definitely rewarding.
Did you find? Did you see? Did anyone send you any messages, or if anyone can post up in the chat? Was there any the waiting line like last time?
Yeah, I didn't have anyone reach out to me personally and say that they got jumped into the queue like they did with Krampus. Mm-hmm. So I am curious if anyone experienced that. We did get this question, and I'm going to assume that they're posing it to you and I. So they asked, which is our favorite figure from the wave?
Mine was the Sir William Smithsonian figure. Definitely by far my favorite.
Well, if we're considering Sir Gerard part of the wave because he was here today, then I'll have to say that's my favorite. If he's not included, I would probably say the Goblin.
The Goblin. I would have to say that's a tough one. Man, the Barbarian. I love the Barbarian simply for all the stuff it comes with. I mean, practically 2 full figures. What is he missing? A pair of legs? I mean, like what else does he need? Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. I'm just gonna stick with the Barbarian.
There we go.
Barbarian was a hot seller today, man. People had FOMO.
Crazy too, because when you think about it, this is the 4th time he's gotten a release.
Does that count? Does the wrong release count as one of those releases?
So, I mean, he was the first wave, the Kickstarter backed 1.0. Then he was in the very first All-Stars wave. And then he shipped with Advent of Decay as that Mistake, the era version that you're mentioning. So that would be the 3rd. So Reinforcements is the 4th time that we've seen that character. And he's still incredibly popular.
Yeah. I'm glad you know these things because I don't. I just know how to make them.
So he's been out, we just had 4 times. Obviously, the Templar Knight. We've seen the Templar in the Covenant of Shadows wave, as well as in All Stars 2. He was in All Stars 3. He made it into. Then we've got. I'm trying to think which All Stars it is now. That would have been All Stars 2. So he was in All Stars 2. Yep, he was in All Stars 2. And then there have been other kinds of instances, like he's appeared at Big Bad Toy Store a few other times. Skeleton, he's been in All Stars 2 as well as the first wave. But everybody else, the Goblin, the Bronze Dwarf, the Orc, and the Black Knight, this is only the second time any of them have ever been offered again. And 2 of them, that original Orc and that Bronze Dwarf, they were only ever offered in that first wave, which we were both just talking about how much smaller the community and therefore the production runs were back then.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, what a difference. What a difference.
Let me ask you this. Do you remember going back, being at the warehouse when that first delivery of 1.0 arrived? Because you did a video as the Straight Poop where you walked around.
You know what's funny? That one, yeah, I mean, I remember that. I don't know, because it was the first time ever seeing like all the stuff like that outside of the factory. So going around, it's one of those things like, you know, when you're a kid and everything seemed bigger.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like, I feel like when I think back on it, that it just, it did go for miles. Like it was all over the place, you know, but there was also a lot of more characters too, you know, but it just kept going and going and going and going and going and going. So it was crazy. But quantity wise, I'm sure it still doesn't compare to something we do now. You know, like we blow that away.
Well, you just pointed out the fact that, you know, that first wave, because we always talk about Advent of Decay being this high watermark in terms of the amount of figures in a wave, but that first Kickstarter wave was no small amount either. So that was 30-something characters.
The first one was 34 characters. Second one was 43 characters.
So 34 characters, and you're right, all of those boxes. I can remember being at the studio somewhat recently when All Stars 4 arrived, which is 6 characters plus the troll, and it literally felt like those boxes went on forever. So a fraction of the amount of characters, but more actual units that were there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's been, since I know all the numbers, quantities, you know, and stuff like that, it's been amazing the growth that, you know, we've seen in that regard to the quantity of each figure. I mean, I always have to be careful what to say, what I can and can't say. I always try to prevent myself. But like, you know, when people that were here for intern for a day and stuff, if, you know, they saw when they went for their walk around, you know, they could see just the insane pile of boxes, cases, you know, and it would be like one side it'd be like, you know, 6 cases deep by like 10 cases high by like 30 cases down, you know, that's like 2 characters.
So Chris, we've got a very important question here.
Uh-oh.
Everett Miller says, did anyone get a piece of the stash?
Very a good question. The thing here is that I will have to contact certain people to make sure they're aware of the bonus stash, because I would hate for them to get a bag of hair and say, what in God's name are you people doing? I'm never buying again because I'm afraid of what's going to come next. So we shall see. If they want, they can post pictures up on the Cabal of their grand, glorious prize. And many people will be very happy when this disgusting thing is gone. I actually kind of like the way it's coming. I'm trying to get that little, Doc Holiday, whatever. I'm your Huckleberry. I need some wax.
You do.
I do. It's annoying.
You're getting close to being able to do it though. Well.
No, that's why I don't want to shave it now. I want it to be in. It's so annoying when you eat or drink something though, because then it goes all up in here, and then when you wipe, you got to kind of and then back down again and over, and it's like, I want to shave this thing so bad.
So here's a good comment we can talk about. Art G said, luckily for me as a new Mythics collector, I'm enjoying these released for the first time. Yeah. I'm loving it. So we actually saw a number of people place their first ever order on the website today, which is a super cool testament, like real evidence of this continued growth of the line in this community.
So I have a question for Art G. Since this is his first purchase, I would like to know, like, is he in the Cabal? How did he, find out about us? Why is this his first purchase? I mean, he's probably just a new guy, but I'd like to know that. So yeah, because we were talking about that. We're like, there's a ton of new first timer purchases, but like, we know nothing about them except that it's their first purchase. Yeah. I would love to know. I'll look for that while he's typing.
Art, let us know that.
Art G.
So we got this one too, where
yes, I was going to mention that.
Love the Sir Gerard breadcrumbs left around on the Cabal page. That was actually Joe Vassapolo's idea. He reached out and he was like, "Hey, I think it'd be a lot of fun to." And we were trying to do that to give people obviously a bit of a heads up. But Chris, it's hard, right? When we did the live stream on Wednesday and then again on my show later that night, all these people are asking, will Sir Gerard be there? Will Sir Gerard? And like, you don't want to lie to people, but at the same time, you want to hold something back. You want there to be that sense of surprise.
It's fun how if you pay attention, you'll notice certain questions get ignored.
Over and over.
Yeah, we see all the questions.
We do.
But yeah, I mean, it's a balance because okay, you know what? I guess I should tell them what my original plan was for reinforcements now that they're out. Okay. So originally what I wanted to do was, and this was all kind of contingent upon, them arriving at a certain time and all that stuff. I knew they were coming in January, originally, a little bit earlier. And so what I wanted to do was January 1st, maybe at midnight, maybe at, 9, 10 a.m., I don't know, they would just appear on the store. It was an awesome idea. I know there would have been a ton of complaining, but it would have been great. It would have been, hey, guess what? Happy New Year. Here's reinforcements. Just like I said, when you least expect them, but need them the most. But the other problem was Poxus was still going on. And we try not to do that.
Say that because for a while, we even put the delivery date for reinforcements as when you least expect it. So I remember us talking about, let's drop them on New Year's Day.
Yeah. And originally they were going to come a little bit later too. They were going to come mid 2022. We were, I guess fortunate enough that Alithia and Select Legion builders are delayed because of tooling. So because they were still in the tooling phase, reinforcements has no new tooling. So I said, hey, factory, get started. Get on them reinforcements. We need them out immediately. So they heeded the call. Got those reinforcements going. And and so I knew, you and I knew they were coming earlier. And it would make for a great surprise. I think timing wise for the schedule for the whole year, perfect. It was the best time they could have come. So it all worked out nice. Yeah.
So to answer your question earlier, Art did reply and say, I am in the Cabal. I bought my first Legions and met some of you at ZoloCon 2021. So Aether and Atheon were the first.
Ah, good choices. Good choices. No, I mean, that's cool. You know, between PAX, between ZoloCon, Legions Con, and, you know, and NJ Toy Con, obviously there's more and more eyes seeing it. And, you know, we're lucky we have a nice big, you know, space and table and display. And now with Legions Con, you know, that being like the official, you know, show for you and us, you know, it just keeps growing. We're getting more reviewers out there, more people, you know. Dan Larson, Toy Galaxy, love watching his stuff, and he loves our stuff. What do you call it? TR4K loves our stuff, and they put up a bunch of, you know, reviews. Those are like some of the new guys, you know, and girls. And then there's just the old, you know, the guys that have been doing it for a while. I mean, like Dorklayer and everybody. Mike's gonna kill me, and like, you know, more and more people putting out more and more reviews and spreading the good word and bringing a friend to a show. You know, whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes.
Yep.
And then Krampus too. Like with Krampus being not Mythic Legions specifically, but it's like it's universal kind of character, and that people go crazy over, and that got a lot more new eyes on it.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that we saw a lot of people with Krampus that said, I've been aware of your products for a while. This is the first one I've pulled the trigger on, and I think we're seeing some of them now come back because once they got it in hand, they were really impressed. That's one of the things I'm doing. So I you know, I've got some coming in, Chris. Obviously, I placed my own order this morning.
But, you get a piece of the mustache.
Close. But no, one of the things I'm doing is part of my order, I'm planning on giving a few of these away. These are really a great price for gift type figures. I know some people in my personal life that are action figure fans. They are collectors. They've never done Mythic Legions. And it's like a lot of people, they've never been really introduced to it outside of maybe seeing like my Instagram and stuff. So I know that when they get them in hand and they play around and they see how fun they are, they're going to want more. So that's one of the things I'm doing. And certainly I will encourage others as well. You know, grab an extra figure, grab an extra skeleton, grab an extra goblin or a Templar, give it to someone who you know is a fellow collector that hasn't been bitten by the mythic bug yet, and get them hooked, because that's all it takes.
Yeah, and the first thing you have to do is say, how can you and I be friends if you cannot enjoy Mythic Legions like I can?
It will strengthen the friendship.
We do not make guarantees. Oh, man. I was going to say something. I am the king of forgetting what I was going to say, I swear. It's not Alzheimer's, but it's Alzheimer's. I'm getting old, man. I'm forgetting everything. Dang it. I was going to, I like what Caitlin said. Was it Catlin? Caitlin? She said, my friend Steve messaged me last night about those picks, and we planned, LOL. See? Some people are paying attention.
And that's part of the reason we dropped them is, you know, short of actually, you know, sending an email or making a post saying Sir Gerard's going to be available tomorrow. I mean, look, we're 3 hours in and he's still available. So clearly it wasn't like there was such a small number that advance notice was required for you to get them. You know, we enjoy surprising people. We enjoy that moment of it's I say this all the time, Chris. As much as I love shopping online for collectibles, I do kind of miss the toy hunt. Like I miss going into a Toys R Us or a KB and getting into the toy aisle and seeing a newly opened case of stuff you're hunting for.
Oh yeah.
That feeling you got of it's there. We try to recreate that sometimes. You know, we did it with the Krampus drop. Obviously here with the Sir Gerard, you know, that's fun.
Yep. And that actually, that feeling just happened to me yesterday when I went to Target and they had G.I. Joes. I said, give me. Alley Vipers and Bats. Suckers.
I'm still waiting for my bat to arrive. I got my alley viper.
Oh, you did?
I did.
I mean, did you order a bat? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they did. They dropped them on Hasbro Pulse not that long ago, and I got one of each.
Okay. Okay, good. Then I don't have to sell you one of mine.
I'm good. It's on the way. They just haven't processed the order yet.
I don't know why Dorklayer said you're dead to me. I just shouted him out, for crying out loud.
No, I think he was responding. Someone, when you said, "How can you be friends with somebody that doesn't?"
Actually, it's funny because I just said you're dead to me to somebody else yesterday. Somebody very close to us.
So let's address this. There's a few people that are asking. I'm not the first to ask, but will this wave eventually be restocked? And you actually addressed this a little bit in the live stream about the complexity of release schedules and wanting to get new stuff out there versus reissues of older stuff. You said the other day that everything remains to be seen. Obviously, they haven't sold out yet, so it's a little premature, but I've seen a lot of people ask that, so I figured we'd address it.
Yeah, I mean, I have an answer for that. We definitely know when there's going to be a reorder right now because it's still available. So that's the answer. But yeah, I mean, nobody knows yet what's going on in the future. You and I are working on schedule, and we're working with, the team, our bosses, on the schedule and trying to figure out everything for 2022, try and keep everything kind of evenly paced and, not killing people's wallets. That being said, like I said, there's nothing solid about restock, reorder of reinforcements. There's nothing yet about reinforcements wave 2. It just has to make sense. It has to, have a good spot for it. There's a lot of things coming up, and we'd rather move forward as much as we can while still offering some of the older stuff. But again, we are a company, and our job is to continue to create.
That's what it is. We are cognizant of people's wallets and budgets. We try to, be as respectful of that as possible, but I think you just said it. Our job is to make and sell toys. That's what we're trying to do.
Have fun with it.
I love this.
I did see. Oh, go ahead. I'll get the next one. What is it?
Nolan collects.
Yes.
I ordered 5 Templars by accident, but I kept it.
I mean, thank you for not emailing me to change your order, because I'm dealing with a bajillion emails right now from you guys. But remember to double check your order before you hit purchase.
Well,
I know you guys get excited.
You get excited. They're worried.
Yeah. Yeah, I did like, there was 2 things actually. One of them was the Disaster said Sir Gerard was a bittersweet surprise because I budgeted around the wave, and Gerard threw a wrench into my budget. We were talking about that. So we were curious. We know you guys are going to be planning. So that's why we tried to let you know in vague terms that he was going to be there. And the other one was Ezerhan. My wife was against my figure buying until I bought her some Mythic Legion figures, as she promptly started kit bashing. Now she's collecting with me. Thanks, guys. Nice. That is what I was going to, when you were talking about buying extra of the Legion builders, it's perfect for just pulling them apart and making new figures. They're nice, lower priced, items, same quality. I mean, the only thing is less paint, otherwise it's the same as the bigger other ones, and just start making new characters, new figures. It's awesome.
I like this comment. I expected a surprise, but I didn't think it would be Gerard. And the reason I like this comment is just because I wanted to say the person who posted it, their name is Chicken Nublet. I don't know what a nublet is, but okay. Chicken Nublet.
Maybe it's a chicken giblet nugget. I like AJ Jones said I just heard my wallet laugh in the afterlife. I can't even read it.
I just heard my wallet laugh in the afterlife when you said you try to be respectful of them.
We could be a lot worse. Trust me. We're really trying here. Oh goodness. Shipping seemed reasonable this time around as well. Got 6 figures. Yeah, I mean, don't forget, chick nub. Don't forget that shipping is based on size and weight and which carrier you're using and where it's going. That being said, this line had 7 standard sized figures and 1 deluxe. I mean, they're practically all the same size. So that'll help. It's easier for the system to determine, what the size is going to be and what package it's going to be going into, because we have like shipping rules that kind of help to, determine that. It's like box size wise for a standard figure. There's a single, there's 2-figure box, there's a 4-figure box, there's an 8-figure box. So that's how it goes. So if you got 4 figures and you add 1 more, now you're in an 8-figure box size. So that changes your shipping.
Yep.
So things to keep in mind. Go for all 8 if you're ordering 5. Yeah, and the only one that was different was the Barbarian, and he's basically 2 figures together. So just consider him to be, 2 figures.
Still growing strong.
Yeah, I know. We keep going back and just looking at. Oh man, that one's so close. I can't say anything.
We're not going to say who, but we are getting close to our first sellout.
Oh man. But you know what? Like I said, it's been great. They lasted a couple hours. And look, when we did Krampus lasted about an hour and a half, 2 hours each time for 2 different, sale window periods. And that was perfect. It's nice to sell out, but it's nice to sell out over a period of time so everybody gets a chance. Respect everyone's wallets and purses and bank accounts. The reinforcements, like I said, I think the numbers were good for what we ordered. Lasting a couple hours, close to a couple sellouts, but it's nice. It's perfect.
Yep.
No complaining.
And it is worth mentioning that the limit of 12 of any one character is in effect until 11 o'clock tomorrow, late morning. At that time, we will lift that limit. And if there is somebody out there that legitimately wants to come in and buy, if they want to build a goblin army and buy, more than 12 goblins, they will
go for it. Yes. Yes. So at that point, it doesn't matter what you bought prior. We just had the limits just for the first day, just so everybody has a chance, just in case some people are nuts and wanted to get several cases of a figure, several pieces of my mustache.
And it's interesting because I saw people when we announced that it was 12 per, I saw some people like kind of aghast. Like they were like, because they were expecting 1 per person, but it's like, these are Legion builders. The whole point is to get multiples, to have your armies of these characters.
Yeah, if you were expecting 1 per person, that's strange. For a Legion builder.
Well, because I think that everyone is so used to the in-stock sales. They're afraid they're not going to get their hands on them. But, we've been saying all along that we had planned for this. We ordered a quantity that we thought would allow us to meet some demand, and that's clearly it.
Yes, I have trained them well. I want them to quake in fear and have total FOMO.
Question here saying, will we have reinforcements at Legions Con? That's all the way in November. These are not going to last that long. Legions
Con. Yeah, there'll be other things at Legions Con. Probably Cosmic. Will Cosmic be at Legions Con? That's a good question.
Everyone on the live stream just stopped what they were doing when you just announced that there could be Cosmic at Legions Con 2022.
That's just, I forgot it's November. So I'm just trying to think scheduling wise. I mean, obviously the plan, the hopeful plan, the aggressive plan is going to be like I said before, hopefully, this is not gospel. Don't hold me to it. Don't come back later and say you lied to us. I will put you to the back of the line. I don't care. And I'll take away your toys. I'll send She-Hulk to your house and rip up your comics. Cosmic and Poxus. If all goes well, according to plan, it'd be nice that they both are shipping out from China before the end of 2022. Hopefully in our warehouse before the end of 2022. Even more hopeful is maybe having them at Legions Con 2022. Not guaranteeing it, but trust me when I say I'm trying my best. So
we've got a lot of other good stuff happening this year as well. There'll be plenty of cool stuff.
Might have to open up a whole nother new factory.
That would be.
Trust me, I've been trying.
I mean, with the growth in demand, to be able to talk about that and that be a real option is pretty incredible.
Well, let's put it this way. We have already expanded once a year ago because you guys are amazingly awesome and you want more, and we're trying our best to get more. And by Crom, you could tell your wallet goodbye.
Art is actually asking when the next con is. ZoloCon is the first weekend in March. So the studio, the studio will be at ZoloCon at the start of March. And then actually the last weekend in March is ToyCon New Jersey. That's obviously the hometown show. So both of those kind of bookending March will be at both of those shows.
Yeah, it's going to be a number of shows. I don't know which ones I'll be at. I'll be at the ones that are here, like the ToyCon, because that's nearby. It's a little easier for me. The other ones are a little further. So, C. Jessam, I did see your comment earlier before. You are at the back of the line. I kept meaning to tell him that, and since he commented again, I'm gonna chastise him. But yeah, ToyCon, Legions Con, obviously I'll be at. I don't know if I'll be at any other ones. It is just it's a commitment. And as much as I would honestly really love going to the shows and especially even staying over, down there instead of driving back and forth, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I also got work to do. Work don't take no day off. So it's hard for me to. And if I'm going to take a day off, I'm going to be going somewhere else.
Taking a day off to go work, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I did on my Christmas vacation. God, I hope so. By that point, by the time Legions Con comes, I'll know if I kickstarted or not.
Well, Pablo's actually asking you that. Will you have your project at Legions Con or more prototypes?
Yeah. I mean, well, if Kickstarter will be in hopefully Easter time. So, I mean, just depends on how that goes. I'm sure I'll have some stuff there. I just don't know if it'll be final because, Kickstarter goes for like 30, 45 days, backer kit. I mean, all that stuff is like 2-3 months right there, and then tooling and production. So all depends. We'll see. Hopefully. I mean, I still need to do more work on it. I've gotten so, backed up, just dealing with emails and production and schedules and production and emails and production, more emails. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. Some of your customers aren't active on the Cabal, and if they weren't buying the builders, they'd never know the Gerard figures added to. Yeah, I mean,
we actually added it to the Instagram today.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's on there. It's still available, so that's perfectly okay. You know what I mean? Like people can still come to the store and check it out and see what's there.
So it was added because it's a valid point. The Mythic Legions Cabal is the official fan group of Four Horsemen Studios, but not everyone wants to use Facebook, and that's a very legitimate, stance to take. Instagram is owned by the same company, so I may be splitting here. But yeah, it is on there as well. Yeah,
and you know what? I mean, again, it was a surprise. A lot of people knew it was coming, we just didn't know where. And yes, normally this would be on a newsletter, and we, the in-stock sales stuff is tough because we want it to be fun. We want there to be a little bit of a surprise. There's still one surprise on the reinforcements. Just can't say what it is yet. Find that out soon enough. It's a free surprise. And it's not a head.
It's not an additional something.
Right. It's not an additional part. It's just a fun
Everyone's going to
thing.
be looking in their boxes like, oh, is there an accessory set that's thrown in here?
No, there's no extra parts. It's just something special. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say anything. But yeah, I mean, normally it would be newsletter. So we just try and find the right happy medium. And the pre-orders, pre-orders are different because, sorry about that. Pre-orders are different because they, you got 30 days. There's no sellout. So it doesn't matter.
I know we don't talk about what's coming in the future, but Brian is asking, when will we get more types of trolls? Fire trolls are even mentioned on the boxes. We need more trolls.
Yes, we do. That's a valid point, Brian. Before. And in reply to Brian's avatar,
we have heard that before.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Lava Troll would be awesome. Krampus would be awesome. Yeah, I mean, all that stuff. This is what me and Jeremy talk with the big boys about all the time. We're just trying to get it all locked down, basically.
I will address this. A number of people asked about the head pack. When's the head pack coming? That was announced. That was announced as early as it was. That was really just an idea at that point. The reason we announced it so early was just because there were a lot of people that were, asking about the skeleton head from Sir Gerard from the Legions conversion, which, yes, the factory did really make the mistake and put that head in the standard edition. That was not planned at all. But that's why that was, I think a lot of people thought we announced the head pack because it was imminent. We really just wanted to get it out there so people knew that they would have another chance at that head. So it's still in the planning stages, but there's nothing to report yet.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it'd be cool, to have a head pack. It'd be fun, for people that can't afford this full figure with a certain look or whatever, and to have these heads available as just optional, parts. It definitely would be cool to do. Here's my fine cut. He's just sitting here on my table. Just for those asking, that's a fine cut, and it's fully functional. But it'd be the same thing for Mythic Legions. I mean, you'd get it's like a copy of the parts. Like they printed out the parts and then they make a copy of it, and you could see like the pinholes in the articulation, but that won't be there in production because it would be insert tooling where, like, say the knee or the elbow, this would be generally like a ABS or POM, the harder material. This would go in, the knee would be injected in that material, then put into the mold, and then this part and this part are injected around the harder part because the PVC has a lower melting point. The ABS and POM has a higher melting point. So when you inject the PVC, it's not going to melt the ABS or POM. And so if you ever see like these parts, they have like two kind of holes where the pins go through. So instead of the pin, this material is basically creating the pin. And then you have that seamless articulation. Usually you do it on a single joint articulation, not a double. And then you can still remove, like the part, like we do on Mythic Legions. When you do it on a double, you're basically committing in your tool, your mold, to be 1, 2, 3 parts, just like that. When you do it on Mythic Legions, you got You got your knee joint right there. The pin is going through there, but because it's insert tooled, you know, you have the, you have the joint right there, but the joint has that pin, so you can pop the leg out, no problem. You know, you're literally just doing the joint and the piece. When you're doing the double, you're doing the joint plus the two pieces if you want both of them to be the insert tool. And so even when we're developing, like when I'm developing this one, or when we're developing, you know, Legions, we take that into consideration. The good thing with Legions is you're not committing to having that whole thing as one piece, thereby allowing customizers to do what they do best, you know, taking it apart, swapping, whatever. It makes it so much easier. But for this fella, you know, he's just basic body. See, he's just a basic body, and some parts that, you know, can come off, but they're not really. It's just going to be, you know, as is, and he'll be wearing his robes or whatever, Roman soldier or angel, whatever the character is that it's going to be. So there you go.
Thank you for that explanation.
Which you all know that.
Nick Fly, you were asking about voting on the head deck. Yeah, that was the plan. Once we get around to that
Yep.
there would be a vote aspect to it.
Yep. We love letting you guys vote on all this stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It gives us a good idea as what's the general consensus in like that main kind of small vocal group. Yep. You know, see how that translates in sales.
And I mean, we don't hold it. It's not like for people that were, you know, saying, "Oh, I'm not on the Cabal." It's not like we hold the vote on the Cabal, so it's a very specific group. You know, we send out that survey when we've done All Stars. We send that survey out to everybody who subscribed to us through the store. So these are actual customers, people that have placed orders or subscribed. You don't have to place an order if you just subscribe to the newsletter through the store. You get on the list as well. So we get a really nice cross section. And I've said this before. Every time we hold a vote, I'm surprised by things. There's always stuff I'm not expecting that the numbers tell us.
Yep. And that newsletter count continues to climb. It's boggling how many people we have on that newsletter now. I love it. I wanted to Bryman XL said, how do you learn about all the different materials used in production? I've been doing it for 12, 13, 14 years. So was doing it at NECA for 10 years because I was sculpting and going to China at the same time. So I was at NECA for 10 years, but probably 8 of those years I was sort of helping the horsemen on the side with the, I always forget the name of the line with the female cats. What's the name of that?
The line is Seventh Kingdom. The wave was Queen Alexandra's Council.
Yeah, that one. I'll never remember that one. So started halfway on that. And then after that, I was doing Scarabus, which is still one of my favorite lines. They're beautiful. Love the look of them. Wish we had more articulation, you know, but like they're awesome. Then the Gothotropolis with the birds. That was beautiful. I love it. And then we started with Mythic Legions and just kept going from there. So for me, I've been to China like 45 times. It's my job. Learn the stuff. Learn the point of learning is to bring it back and, you know, use it in development to make stuff better. And that's what we do. You know what I mean? Like when we're looking at when we're looking at Arathier, right? Okay, the head, the hair needs to, I forget which side, I'll just do this side, whatever. The hair needs to be translucent. Oh, look at that. It's a whole separate piece, right? How cool is that? It's glued on, but, you know, and it's split up into 3 pieces. There's literally like 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece. The hair is 3 separate pieces glued together and then glued onto his big old noggin. The horns are a separate piece, right? But we want to also make sure okay, if it's going to be a separate piece, well, what material, is going to be hard, soft, what are we going to use? So we have to go through all that as we're developing it. Obviously his visor is, a separate piece that'll come off. And we want to make sure, okay, we don't want it to be too hard, because if the material is too hard, it'll crack very easily. It could break in transit. It could break when people are fussing with it. Mm-hmm. But, you can take it off still. And it looks so creepy cool, and then like the ears are part of the head. Well, we don't want them to be too hard because then those are going to crack too. So it's just all these little things that go into it. Even the elbow pads are soft. They have a little bit of flex on them so that the arm can kind of go up just a little bit more, and it's not scratching too much. So one of the struggles is the hands, because usually when they make the mold, it's upper arm, lower arm, and hand in the same tool, the same mold, the block. So when you inject the plastic at a standard hardness, which is called a durometer, usual durometer for, say, something like the arm, the torso, the thigh would be like 90, 95 degree. That just means how hard it is. 100 degree is very hard. So you don't want it to be super, super hard, because then it's hard to get the pieces in and out. But the 90 to 95, and it's like in 5 degree increments would be the hardness. But you want the hand to be a little softer so that the weapons, you can kind of open the fingers up a little bit and get the weapons in there and have a good fit. So those will be like 80, 85. This is a flex PVC. That's going to be 65. So, you would have 3 different types of hardness plastic in there. You're going to have 65, 80, 85, and 95. But you want to kind of work those things out before you tool it, because those things are going to be tooled in a certain way. Anything that's translucent and clear, you want it to be all kind of grouped together. This way, when they're injecting it in clear material, everything gets, injected in clear. You only have to do it one time instead of, half of this tool is clear and regular and the other half is clear and regular. Now I got to inject both of them, multiple times just to get the clear parts. And time is money. So that's very important. Let's see.
Yeah, we are learning lots of stuff today.
Which one's the Action Force figures? I'm trying to think which ones those were.
Those are the Valaverse figures.
Oh, okay.
The military style.
Yep. Hey, Mr. Allen, is it time for Jeremy to play banjo and for Chris to sing a song? Yeah, let's do it. We'll sing a song to Mr. Allen.
Banjo-Ailey's probably not tuned, so.
Today was reinforcements day. We saw many friends spend their pay. And then we got special guest star Mr. Allen in the world of toys. Jeremy's a good banjo-lally player.
There we go. So that was my version of Obla Di Obla Da by the Beatles. Life goes on. Anyone that missed the sale today after all these hours, that's what we'll say. Life goes on, yeah. Right?
Life goes on, and the sale is still live, so go buy something. That's the first time I got to hear Jeremy play one of his instruments back there. Thank you, Jeremy.
You're very welcome. I'll tune the banjo next time.
Yeah, that was an unexpected surprise. Let's see. I'm just going to grab some of these questions real quick. Do you think Four Horsemen will ever do a G.I. Joe type Army soldier line? No, I don't think so. I don't think there's any need for it. It doesn't fit into the world. Everything we're doing, they all kind of come together in the world. You could say Cosmic is kind of a G.I. Joe style because you got like that. It's more high tech. It's more, Army and kind of things like that. But it's also alien. So, I mean, that's probably like, as close as you're going to get. what you call it? There's going to continue to be expansion. I always joke around about aquatic legions. That might happen. Who knows? I mean, there'll be some cool designs in there. You know,
a lot of water in Mythos, right? There's got to be things living in there.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, Valkyries and Amazons. Heck yeah. I mean, yes, because can't say anything. Dragons, of course. There's going to be bigger and bigger dragons. That's coming. It's guaranteed for sure. It's just, again, a matter of fitting it into the schedule. You know, where's it going to work? Where's it going to fit? It's going to be expensive. You know, it's going to be huge. Right now, with shipping freight from China being so expensive, now is not the time to do a big item.
Yeah.
You can ask Hasbro about that.
So you talk about aquatic legions. This week we posted an article on the blog on the website. We have a whole segment called Races of Mythos where we look at, you know, the orcs or the goblins. So I did one this week called Exotic and Original. It was really focused on, you know, some of the unique races in Mythic Legions, like the Umengeist with our race, Thrace Wraithhaler and stuff. But speaking of aquatic legions, I specifically ended that with this phrase where it says, know that there are many more races, exotic, which exist across the realm, from the heights of the mountains to the depths of the seas, hidden in the darkness of the caverns below to the vast forests and frigid tundras that make up the map of Mythos. So I specifically mentioned the depths of the seas, and got approved the post, so there must be characters hidden in those waters.
Jeremy's such a wordsmith.
So we're at 55 minutes, Chris. I know you've got to get back to work. I know you've got some emails to answer.
Yep, I'm just checking out. I thought there was another question I wanted to grab really quickly. Someone should do a how-to on figure building. Yes, also in the plans. I mean, that's something I've been wanting to do forever. I want to show you guys like literally video and picture from the factory of the, you know, the tooling process and the foundry and the injection machines. And, you know, I mean, I have tons of pictures. It's just a matter of getting them all together. Hopefully, you know, I think we were even talking about doing like a section on the source horsemen, you know, more plans than we have time for. That's always the case. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I hope to do that.
At some point, you're going to, you know, this is going to clear up enough, hopefully, that you can go back to China, and we'll have to do one of these live broadcasts where you're actually at the factory, where we can bring that live back to everybody.
I don't know how well that will work for 2 reasons, 3 reasons, 4 reasons. One reason is 13-hour difference. Well, 12, depending on time of year. So, I mean, I'd be at the factory at noon and you'd be home at midnight. So I don't know how well that's going to work. Number 2, when I'm walking around the factory, I'm not by the Wi-Fi. So I don't know how that's going to work. And I don't even know if my China number works anymore. I'd have to get a new number and everything. But it probably would be better to, you know, take videos and kind of compile them into a nice kind of condensed video. But yeah, that's definitely a plan. Let me see. Hold on one second. Love the birds. Wonder when we will see 1/6 scale or larger versions of popular figures. I mean, if you mean like the same figure but a larger size, probably never. I don't see that being in the plans at all. It just doesn't make sense. We want to keep everything within, you know, in scale to each other. That being said, I'm sure there may be bigger figures, but it would be different characters. Fabian's Finest Steaks just places 3rd order. Yeah, all right. I mean, I think that's mostly everything. Ninja and Egyptians, why not? Yeah, hell yeah, man. I mean, again, there's no limit to what we can do. Oh, I'm so glad I pronounced his name correctly. Thank you. Birds are not coming back, so don't even ask. mythologies. Cool. Yep, dragons, figures, homage. Any more homage figures? Maybe. Guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. I don't know. Articulated icons. I know them. They're great people. And yeah, early QC wasn't good, but I think they've gotten that adjusted. All right. I don't know. I think that's it.
Well, Chris.
Well, Jeremy.
Thank you for doing this. Happy Reinforcements Day to everyone. And of course, thank you to everyone that placed an order or 2 or 3 today. It's been enjoyable to hang out with all of you. Chris is going to get his mustache clipped up for anyone that's that qualifies and actually wants some of his facial hair.
Doesn't matter if they want it or not. Get ready for a little surprise.
This coming Wednesday, live stream, we back?
Oh yeah, we got. Are we gonna be doing the thing we were supposed to be doing originally, or is that still going to be?
The thing we were supposed to be doing originally.
Okay. Okay, we'll have to talk about that when people aren't listening.
We will. Have a good afternoon, everyone. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, guys. Happy Gerard Day. Woo!